Good morning. I am so happy that we can have this time together, even if virtually, to discuss some of the key components when it comes to the MAP growth test. Now, I know that many of you are in the heat of MAP testing season. You've done goal setting with your students. You've had some great conversations with families. I just wanted to discuss a few of these key components about MAP testing that may help you have some more pointed conversations with all stakeholders. The MAP test, first and foremost, is an adaptive assessment, and this means that it is going to adapt to students' ability level and is tailored to students' current achievement. It also is going to be individually paced. And I think a couple of the talking points when having discussions with students can be, if this test is giving you difficult questions, that means it's doing its job, and that means that you're performing well. You're answering questions correctly, and it is giving you more difficult questions as you go. And if you get to a point where you're struggling to answer, where you're struggling to answer those questions, that's okay. It's doing its job. When students understand what it is that they're doing, they're more likely to, one, buy in, and two, be more comfortable in what they're completing. And that's no different here when taking an assessment. A few data pieces that I'd like to discuss, first starting with normative data and then jumping into the RIT score. Normative data is going to help us understand what growth can be expected. So what's considered normal and abnormal. MAP growth has norm data for both growth and achievement, and these are two different data points. We look at the achievement percentile. This is how students are achieving in comparison to students at their grade level on the MAP. Not to be confused with the MAP test. So that normative data is really going to help us understand, where do our students compare? Are they performing, and are they performing at the same percentile that students at their same grade level are? The RIT score is going to measure students' achievement, and this is a scale based on subject areas and typically used for measuring growth over time. That RIT score is that number. Typically, students, when they perform at a certain level, they're getting about 50% of those questions correctly, giving them that RIT score. This is the score that we hear them comparing, with each other after they MAP test in the hallways and, playing with one another on, who performed better. I think when we can clearly communicate what that RIT score is and what that RIT score means to our students, they have better buy-in as well. And then finally, the zone of proximal development. This is one you've probably heard in your graduate and undergraduate studies, but this is a student's sweet spot for instruction. I like to think of this as the sleep number bed, right? I think of some of the reports that you can pull in MAP is really going to identify the zone of proximal development. Where are they ready to learn? What skills are they ready to push themselves on? What skills are they not quite ready for? And really, it's just having that discussion, with ourselves, with our teams, and with our students on where they're at and where we need to get them. We know that student success and student outcomes is our number one priority. And using MAPs as an adaptive assessment and looking at that normative data and our student RIT scores to really identify where is their sweet spot, where is that zone of proximal development for each student, and what are they ready for, can really help us best prepare our instruction and our small groups and our guided reading and our guided math to best push our students and give them what they need at that time. I'm so excited for you to take this information and have conversations with your students and with parents and guardians. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am more than happy to have some discussions, to be part of goal setting, to be part of, some reflection with students. Just let me know, and I will be there to do what I can to support you and your students in your classroom. Thank you.